A use case of a tabletop exercise would be walking a customer through a scenario that had to do with a variety of different threats. Let's use the example of ransomware. So the first thing that you would notice, typically the first sign of ransomware is a notification saying you have ransomware. It's usually a screen that comes up that says, hey, I've locked your system, I've locked your laptop, I've locked your desktop. You have 48 hours to get me this amount of money. That notification will pop up on the screen. The next step would be we would present some kind of a notification from the from the attacker. Who's taking credit for this? Because they want you to be able to pay them, right? So somebody's going to want to take credit for this. From there, we may move the scenario in a couple different directions. Likely, I'm going to move in the direction of the attacker winds up moving laterally and locking out another more important system. Maybe there's a system that has public information in it, or excuse me, private information in it that shouldn't be public, sensitive information of any kind. We would want to lock something that's really vital or important to the customer. Maybe it's a system that just has to be up and running all the time. For example, a land mobile radio system. We would want to have the attacker lock that system out so it's now not available. Well, what are you going to do in that situation? Are you just going to take the system down and start over? How are you going to make sure that the bad guy doesn't get in again? So you're going to have to do some research to find out how they got in to begin with, right? From there, we'll move on to making the incident public, probably. So the way I would take these scenarios, I would say, oh, now the public found out about this, and you have a reporter that's at your front door, and she wants more information about this. And typically reporters, they don't want to talk to the person who actually can give them good answers. They want to talk to any employee coming out of the building because they want an incendiary answer. The next step I would take it is I would take it to making it look like it was an insider. So maybe somebody quit recently and they quit under really negative conditions, and somebody is reporting to HR that like, oh, I remember when Joe left and he said this and that when he left. So I would maybe bring in HR, maybe bring in some other legal concerns. The real goal here is to bring in as many people as possible who are part of the organization. So beforehand, I kind of want to find out who's going to be in the room because I want to make sure no one's bored. My job as a tabletop exercise executor is to make sure that everybody in the room is engaged for at least part of the time.